The agreement formalizes collaboration between the Montana National Guard, the U.S. Coast Guard District 13 and the Sri Lanka Armed Forces under the U.S. Department of Defense's State Partnership Program. The agreement is expected to pave the way for enhanced cooperation in capacity building, joint training, humanitarian assistance, disaster response, cyber defense, peacekeeping, CBRN response and leadership development. U.S. Ambassador Julie Chung and Adjutant General of the Montana National Guard Brigadier General Trenton Gibson signed the agreement on behalf of the U.S. government, while Secretary of Defense retired Air Vice Marshal Sampath Tuyakonta signed on behalf of the government of Sri Lanka. However, several opposition parties expressed concern over the obscurity of pact and urged the government to table the agreement in parliament to bolster transparency.
The president has entered into an agreement with the US military based in the Pacific. He must submit all pertinent details of this pact to parliament. As the Minister of Defense, he has no right to compromise this nation's sovereignty to the United States or any other country. Previously, Mahinda Rajapaksa signed the ACSA agreement. However, he submitted it to Parliament. To continue the pact, Ranil Wickremesinghe also signed a similar agreement, which too was presented in Parliament for scrutiny. Therefore, this new agreement must also be tabled in Parliament. The President also failed to disclose the defence agreement signed with India. This agreement must definitely be released, since we see a clear attempt to draw Sri Lanka into global conflicts. On the 5th of April, 7 agreements were signed with India, none of which have been released for public scrutiny yet. Similarly, a few months ago, the government signed a bilateral defence pact with the Japanese Ministry of Defence. No light has been shed on that pact as well. On Friday, the NPP government and its Defence Secretary Sampath Tuyakonta have yet again pulled off another blunder by signing a defence pact with the United States represented by Ambassador Julie Chung. Shouldn't all Sri Lankans be privy to the content of these pacts? Australia, Japan, the United States and India are all members of the Quad dialogue. Signing agreements with Quad states indicates that the government is aligning itself with the United States. When the incumbent government was in the opposition, they would hold demonstration after demonstration, yearning for transparency over similar pacts signed by previous governments.
Don't catch anything.
An English proverb says, "Do not catch something that you cannot throw away." That proverb is highly relevant when signing agreements with powerful nations. Once signed, we may not be able to withdraw from such agreements even if we want to. Therefore, we must be cautious. We have serious concerns because this government has neither the intelligence, the knowledge, nor the experience required to negotiate such matters. When we raise concern, the government points the finger to India and asserts that there is no push for transparency over these pacts in India. The government then goes on to question why we push them to disclose these pacts, given the contrasting circumstances in India. The difference is that the people of India trust their government. Unfortunately, we do not trust ours.
බලපෑම් කරන්න කියලා. ඉන්දියාවේ ජනතාව ගිවිසුම ප්‍රසිද්ධ කරන්න කියන්න උවමනාවක් නැත්තේ ඉන්දියාවේ ජනතාවට තමන්ගේ ආණ්ඩුව විශ්වාසයි. නමුත් අවාසනාවට අපිට අපේ ආණ්ඩු ෂුවර්. බොරුව රජ වෙච්චි ඒ බොරුව ආගම කර.
The government, which lies religiously, deceived the public through deception. However, unlike them, Mahinda Rajapaksa never signed any secret agreements. He was direct and transparent with his actions. In contrast, this government has reportedly signed 7 agreements with India and 15 agreements with China, the contents of which remain unknown to the public. Only they know the content of these pacts. Our country no longer feels like a sovereign nation. It feels more like a local council. External powers move our leaders like puppets to fulfill their wishes and fancies. Sri Lankans must wake up to reality.